Tony Blair's former communications director standing by his man, Alistair Campbell, telling a public inquiry into the build-up to the Iraq War his Prime Minister acted in good faith in the search for alleged weapons of mass destruction. The former journalist standing by Blair and blaming French refusal to back the invasion of Iraq for his boss's decision to drop the UN and go it alone with Washington.
But I would say certainly that Gordon Brown... Would somebody like Tony Blair, from the day he went into politics, think that somebody like Saddam Hussein should be got rid of? Yes, he would. Was that the policy that he was pursuing the whole way through? No. When it came to it, when the diplomatic process clearly was not going to resolve the issue post-1441, and when the French pulled the plug, then military action became the only means responsible.
All right, let's go to London and correspondent Benedicte Paviot. Benedicte, blaming the French, huh?
Yes, it was blaming the French Day, and it was very much about pulling the plug. The nasty French, according to Alistair Campbell, are the ones who really left Britain and the US with no other option than a military one. I think that is something that the former French President Jacques Chirac would hotly dispute. But it was the decision of Paris not to back a second resolution against Iraq and to make it very public and say so, that meant that then London and Washington were left with no other option. According to Alistair Campbell, that was him giving his version of the facts, his version of history, very clearly preparing the terrain for his former boss, the former Prime Minister Tony Blair, who did decide to take the country to war. As we know, it'll be interesting to see, Francois, if in the next few weeks, when Tony Blair goes before this very same committee, if he, Mr. Blair, decides to blame the French in quite the way that his former spin doctor has done today. I doubt it.
Amid all this blame of the French, was there any talk about those alleged weapons of mass destruction?
There was, and interestingly, Mr. Campbell, who's clearly appeared before other inquiries and clearly prepares his auditions like this very, very carefully, and got quite a grilling, actually. 5 hours instead of the 3 hours we expected, a few tough questions, not the whitewash that so many people have been saying that this inquiry has been going ahead with. But in fact, Mr. Campbell said, well, yes, it was difficult when we found out it was a difficult situation. There weren't any WMDs. But can Britain be proud of the role it's played in Iraq? Yes, it can. Do I have any regrets? Should Tony Blair have any regrets about choosing this option? No, he shouldn't. So it was an Edith Piaf, non, je ne regrette rien. No, I have no regrets rendition today by Mr. Campbell. Will it convince everybody? Will it get his critics to believe him? Again, I rather doubt it. Those who believed Mr. Campbell in the first place will continue doing so. Those who didn't won't. So we'll see what Mr. Blair has to say when he appears in a few weeks' time. And indeed, Mr. Gordon Brown, the current Prime Minister, who will have to wait until the next general election. So that'll be quite a few months to come. But let's see what Tony Blair says when he comes.
All right, thank you very much, Benedicte Paviot there.